Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, you matter what.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Snaj V Show. Today I want to cover an important topic that has been coming up a lot lately, and this may strike a few chords, but you know what? I feel like it's something that we need to talk about. And from this perspective where I've been in the fitness industry for almost 20 years, and in the industry, there's always that one very, very key objection that comes up for a lot of people. And I want to start by saying that I do have a lot of compassion for people. I try my best to understand where people are coming from, why, and better understand where they're at in their life before any judgment is made, before any opinion or advice is given. And the reason why I want to start by saying that is because you may think that this might come across harsh or unfair, or maybe I just don't understand your circumstances. But let me assure you of this. You are the product or the result of the decisions and the choices that you're making. So here's the deal, guys. Most people, when they think about finances, they think about what they can and what they can't afford. You can afford to eat out once a week, twice a week, 5 times a week. You can afford to go and grab that morning coffee every single day. You can afford to go out on the weekend with your friends. You can't afford the gym. You can't afford to make time for your health. You can't afford a therapist. This is what the world has so backwards. When we think about what we can afford, it's all the minuscule things that really are actually causing you to be in the position that makes you not be able to afford things. When people say to me, I have to cancel my gym membership because I can't afford it, it's too expensive. Let me tell you what's more expensive. You being unhealthy is expensive. The amount of trips you're going to have to make to see a doctor, the amount of prescriptions you're going to have to pick up because your health is not in the good state. That's what's going to happen to you. And most people don't realize is that if you cannot afford your health, you will have to afford the illness that you're then going to have to live with. And that may be harsh, but I'm sorry that no one's told you this, but you have to prioritize your health because it is really ultimately the one key thing that you have control over. You don't have control over what the government does. You don't have control over inflation. You don't have control over the interest rates, but what you do have control over is how you treat yourself, what you do for yourself. And I know that there is probably millions of trainers, of gym owners, of fitness people out there that would 100% agree when I say this. If you do not afford your health, you will have to afford the illness that covers and comes with the decisions that you're making. And I know that that's harsh. Now, for some of you, you might say to me, well, I just can't afford a $300 a month membership. I cannot afford a trainer that costs $900 a month. But you know what? There are programs out there that will cater to you. There are programs and people out there that would be able to fit with what you need. You have to start looking for it. Now, yes, you're not going to be able to work with the best of the best because you can't afford the best of the best. That's the reality. Too freaking bad. Like, I'm sorry, but I will not choose a client that half-asses their fitness. I don't want to invest my time in them just as much as they don't want to invest their money in me. So why would you say to me, oh, well, you know what? I can't afford a gym. I can't afford a trainer. Yes, you're right. You really can't. You're 100% right. Whatever you say that you can't do, you are 100% correct in that. And I say this from a place where I want the world to change. I want the world to understand that, you know what? You can afford it. Because all it is that money is going to exchange hands. That's all it's going to do. It's going to go from your hands to someone else's, from someone else's back to yours. That's how it's going to happen. But so often people get so scared, right? Because they don't realize is that the reason why they don't have money is because of the decisions that they've made in the past. The reason why they can't afford something is because of all the choices that they have made in the past. Your objection of I can't afford it is an objection. And let me tell you something, all objections are made to be overruled. If you have the objection that I can't afford it, someone out there will overrule you by saying, you know what, let me look at your finances. Let me look at the decisions that you're making on a daily basis. And I guarantee you, I can find anywhere between probably $3 to $8 extra a day that you could invest in your health. Because at the end of the day, unless you are walking around with a healthy body, a healthy mind, you are unhealthy. On the flip side, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, you are nothing. You are not wealthy. You are not doing good. You're nothing. Because at the end of the day, your health is your wealth. That's just the reality. Your health is your wealth. And you may not want to believe that. You may not be one of those people that agrees with that. But when we are in our 70s, 80s, 90s, and people are passing away at 72 because they didn't take care of themselves, what do you think? That is the final thought. I wish I did it differently. I wish I took better care of myself. That's most of the time what happens to people. Now, you know what? More and more people are finding it so hard to afford a gym membership, to afford a trainer. And I have to ask you this question. If you come and you say that I can't afford to be fit, can you honestly afford not to? Are you honestly okay with spending more time on medical bills, spending more time on the couch, spending more time being in a negative state of mind because you're telling the world that you can't afford it? You're okay with that. Because I can tell you right now, those who actually make the time, they set aside the money, they set aside the budget to prioritize their fitness. Look at the traits that they have. Anyone that is fitter, anyone that takes care of their health, they are more positive people. They have more energy, they have a better attitude, they treat themselves better, and in turn treat others better in their life. They have a much more fulfilling life. That's what you unhealthy and people that don't go to the gym don't get it. You don't get that those who actually take the time for themselves are the ones that are more fulfilled. The ones that don't are the ones that are missing something. They're lost inside. They have no idea what they are doing with themselves. And you know why? Because they have no idea how to even connect to themselves. If your mind cannot connect to your body cannot connect to your mind, and you are lost. You have no idea what is going on. And let me tell you, the change that you wish to see in the world is the change that you need to make in yourself. If you have no idea what you're doing, if you feel lost, if you feel stuck, how about you start just working on some personal development? How about you start doing the time that all these other people are doing on a daily basis to better who they are, to better what they are, to better every single ounce and core value that they have, the traits that they have. That's how you get found. That's exactly where the change happens. You have to be who you've always needed. You have to be what you've always needed. Because that's where the change happens. That's where the value is. It's not just a dollar sign. Everything is just so tied to a dollar sign. Like, oh, I can't afford it because it's X amount of dollars. But you don't see the value that goes into it. You don't see how much the people who are creating that service have poured their life, their soul, and heart into it. They have poured themselves into providing value for you, and you are turning around and saying, I can't afford it. What about if you couldn't, what about if your job, your bosses, your corporation couldn't afford you? How would you feel about that? Would you feel valuable or would you feel invalidated? Because that's honestly the reality that we face. So if you are one of those people that want to turn around and say, you know what, I can't afford it, then you do not deserve to be there. If you are one of those people that can't budget in somewhere in your probably shitty ass financial plan that you have, if you can't budget in your fitness, I can tell you right now, you will lose 100%. You will lose in life. You'll become overweight, out of shape. People won't want to care about you. People won't want to spend time with you. You're going to become boring. You're going to become less. You will. It's the reality. And I'm sorry to tell you that. I'm sorry that no one else has told you that your friends won't tell you that, you know what, you being overweight is a downer. You are just depleting them. When you hang out with fit people, I guarantee you are the one that's lost in the group. What is the main thing that fit people have in common? Energy. Good energy, positivity, good conversations. It's hard to understand that. I get it. I've been around a lot of unfit people, and I can tell you right now, I don't fit in with them. I don't enjoy being around them. I don't want to be around them. No part of me cares about being there. And I feel lost. And I feel like I don't matter in the group. Because all they want to talk about is poor eating habits and drinking habits and partying and all these adventures that they want to go on that involves sitting down and going to the movies and honestly just doing dumb shit. That's the reality that we have to face in 2023. So yes, the economy is going to hurt some of us. No doubt about it. The economy is going to probably hurt a lot of you. But guess what? You get to control your economy. If you choose to, you get to control it, but you choose not to control it. What if you actually decided against that? What about if you said, you know what? I'm going to change. I'm going to see things a little differently. I'm going to pour a little bit more of an investment in myself. I'm going to invest in who I want to be because that's where my worth comes from. Because when you do the self-investment, it increases the self-esteem, which then in turn increases your confidence. And guess what that means? You feel like your self-worth has just skyrocketed. It's gone straight up. But most people don't want to understand that. And why do they not want to understand it? Because it's just hard to believe. Now, show me someone that's been on a year of personal development, 1 year. And I guarantee you that person is going to be very different to someone that's only taken a 3-month quick trip. So show me someone that's been on a 5-year personal development and I'll tell you the difference between that person and someone that's been on a 1 year. And you can show me a person that's been doing this for a decade, personal development on a regular basis every day, and I will show you the difference between that person and anyone else. Because it takes time. It takes work. And when you do it, you can tell 100% that the person that has put in the long view, the long time, they are completely different to the person who started. And that's what you need to do. You need to invest in yourself. You cannot just stay still. You cannot stay stagnant. It does no one any good, especially yourself. And that's what I want to spend today talking about because so many people keep telling me they can't afford it. I hear about all these other people saying, I can't afford it. You can't not afford it. That's the reality. You cannot not afford it because it's going to show up. It's going to show up in the lives of your children. It's going to show up in the lives of the people that you love around you. It's going to show up in the work that you are probably not doing at your job. And that's the reality of that. So how do you fix it? What does self-investment even look like? Let me tell you. The very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to invest in enough time to sleep. You're going to invest in that. What does that mean if it's an investment? It means that you're going to pull away time that you spend in front of the TV or doing shit that doesn't matter, and you're going to sleep. That's what you're going to do. You're going to assert yourself with at least anywhere between 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. Nothing more. You don't need more. Unless you're an elite level athlete, you don't need more than 8 hours. I don't care what you do. You do not need more than 8 hours of sleep. If you do, you're just going to be tired and uninspired. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get on a nutrition plan. Unless you know how to write a nutrition plan yourself and you've done the work and you've done all the research, go and get a nutrition plan written by someone. Someone that actually knows what they're doing, someone that actually does what they say that they'll do. Follow that person. A nutrition plan matters. Nutrition comes before the exercise. So you're going to sleep better and you're going to invest the time in that sleeping, and then you're going to invest the money into a nutrition plan. And that nutrition plan you're going to follow every single day. You may slip up once and then you're going to jump back on board and you're going to stick with it. You're going to stick with it with a minimum of 90 days. 90 days, that's 3 months. This is not a 21 day. This is not a 2 weeks. This is not a 1 month. This is 90 days that you have to stick with it at a minimum. Then you're going to get on a program, or you're going to start training with a trainer, or you're going to join a gym. You're going to do one of those things. And that's also going to be another investment. And you're probably looking at a minimum of $300 a month. I can assure you that anything under $300 a month is not worth your time. It's honestly probably going to give you very minimal results. The cheaper a service is, the cheaper your results are. Therefore, you're going to be frustrated. You're not going to want to continue, and you're going to be discouraged. Invest more money to get more results. Guarantee you it will happen. I've seen it before. I've done it myself. It happens because you are pouring more into probably a service that has been around for a very long time. That is the third thing: sleep, nutrition, and then training. And the fourth thing, this is incredibly important, is find someone that can give you a method, a belief system, something that is going to help you with your mentality. You can also hire a mindset coach. You don't have to, though. There are that many podcasts out there. There are that many YouTube channels. There is basically every single thing in the palm of your hand, in that phone that you're holding, and you're going to get as much personal development in your mentality, in your mindset as possible. This is personal development, what you're doing right now, listening to me. And what you're going to do is you're going to start understanding, what are my core values? What do I need to learn about? What's the faith system? What is the universe trying to give me? What is your belief? What is it that you want to believe in? What's your higher power? What's your higher source? How can you develop that more? And if you don't, then you're going to lose, because the mindset is honestly what encompasses everything altogether. So read books, listen to books, listen to people out there that are actually speaking about valuable stuff. There are millions of people out there that can show you this. I'm not the first. I'm one of so many. I'm just a girl that's trying to help people. And I want you to understand that these 4 components, the sleep, the nutrition, the training, and the mentality, are what is going to help you increase your self-worth, increase your self-esteem, and become a better version of yourself. If you don't pour back into you, you're just going to be pouring out of you. And most of the time, people don't realize how detrimental that is. So pour more into yourself. It won't hurt you. It's actually going to help you. And I want to leave it at that, because those 4 components are going to be where you're going to start and where you're going to put the investment into. And now if you think, no, I really truly can't afford it, I want you to think of one area, one consistent area that you keep doing that you know you shouldn't be doing on a daily basis, where you're going to stop doing that. And the money that you put into that trip to buy food, into the coffee shop that you stop by, into the donuts that you buy, whatever it is, you're going to take that money and put it into yourself in a way that's going to be beneficial. That's how you're going to do this. And by doing this, it's going to change you. It's going to really, really make some dramatic shifts in your life. So you're going to pull from somewhere else that's not serving you and put into something else that will serve you. And I really want you to really focus on those areas, okay? I like to call them the core 4. Your sleep, your nutrition, your training, your mindset or mentality. And I hope that that is going to help you. And please stop telling people that you can't afford it, because you just honestly look stupid. And I know that that's harsh, but I'll be the first person to tell you that the more you say you can't afford something, the more that you're actually fueling and feeding that mentality that you don't have it. So you're actually telling yourself you cannot do something. You are saying, I can't. And by saying I can't, you are 100% right. You can't afford it. You aren't good enough. That's right. That's what you're telling yourself. And I'm here to tell you that you can. You may just need a different approach. You may need to make some adjustments in your day, in your life, in your decisions, in how you are, in your behavior, your attitude. You may need to do those things just to put yourself in a better position. And once you do, and it starts working, oh my gosh, the changes that are going to happen for you are going to be epic. So commit to that. Commit to that and do that. Do that one thing that you know that you need to do. Because at the end of the day, you're one decision away from a completely different life. So make the right decision. We'll see you in the next one.
Bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, no matter what.